just get out of your own way. I mean, as an overthinker and a control freak that wants everything to be perfect and just so in order to take action, it's never going to be perfect. If you wait for perfection, you're going to wait a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then that'll be a whole other channel for you. The
third
you
chapter.
are dead yet.
You are dead now.
Yeah.
It's
you blew it. You blew it. You missed your window. Like.
It's a cold, wet, wintry day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Today I'm visiting with Amy Pedersen. Amy had a career in corporate advertising and marketing and always had an intention of pivoting to something different. Then, when her job unexpectedly ended, she was kicked out of the nest and found it was the perfect launchpad to start her reinvention. Now, she is a rehabber. Welcome to We're Not Dead Yet. Women rocking their next chapter. Let's go see what's going on in the construction zone.
Neeahtima!
Is this the place?
This is the one!
Oh my
gosh! Oh my gosh, come on
see.
in! I hope you brought your hard hat.
Oh my gosh, I didn't. I should have.
Full-on construction mode. So welcome to our East Cobb flip.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, we're about, 3 days in. So I don't even know how many dumpsters in at this stage, but all flooring has been removed. We've got some walls coming down. We've got cabinets coming out. But come on in.
Okay.
Sure. So these guys are temporary. Right here, where I'm standing was the wall to the kitchen. So if you imagine, the kitchen was from here over, and needless to say, that's not on trend anymore. So this wall's coming out. These two are holding up the third floor. We're on the second right now. Holding up the third floor until we get the beam in either later today or tomorrow. But all of this is gonna be so vast and open. We're gonna have this huge island right here with pendants, and needless to say, kind of overflow into this space. But lots of new cabinetry, everything coming in on this side. Our before was. You're gonna love this because straight ahead we had a tub and a shower. And if you couldn't wait to get a shower right here, not to worry, you can turn the corner and you could get a shower right here.
There were two showers?
Two showers, two options for showers. Only one commode though. So
handy.
It was very handy. On this side we had his and her vanities. But this closet, as you see where the guys are working over here, was so small, we decided we're gonna wall this thing off and only have one shower. One big vanity right here, and this becomes a real, true primary closet over here. Now to wall this over, because it goes into the basement, with the quarantine and such, everybody wants their stuff. This hole right here, it was really the impetus of us buying this house.
Why is that?
Because unfortunately, the sellers had a couple of tragedies at the house and had filed for insurance. And after one or two too many of those, the insurance company canceled them.
Oh.
And so this home really became one big liability.
Okay.
And they came to us going, we can't put it on the open market. We really need somebody to come in and take care of it and bring, this is what we do, this is what we specialize, is just come in and take really distressed, broken home, for lack of a better term, and breathe some new life and some new love and, make it HGTV ready, as I call it.
Awesome, yeah. I love it. All right, well, we're gonna sit down and talk about your reinvention?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's find out. Welcome to We're Not Dead Yet.
Right!
Women rocking their next chapter.
I am so glad that I'm not dead yet, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for asking me to join.
It's a cold day. If they thought that Atlanta was hot Atlanta, there's a reason we don't call it that anymore.
No.
It's the ATL, and it can be frigid.
Yes. And thank you for agreeing to do this outside, because I know it's super loud in there.
It is
and we've got
quite
saws, and we've got dust and construction zone. So
quite loud.
this is lovely. Our soon to be fantastic landscaping at the East Cobb Live here.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So,
You'll have to come back when the pool's all nice.
yeah, before you sell it.
Yeah. You're gonna have to be quick though. Bring your scuba suit because it's still gonna be cold.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good. We don't want you hanging on to it any longer than you have to.
That's right.
You don't have a design background.
I don't.
You went to
I
school.
watch a lot of HGTV though. That counts, right?
It
I'm
counts.
qualified.
It
It
counts.
feels like that's
I watch
good as a
medical
degree.
shows. I think I'll go practice.
I think, surgery, I feel like there's probably a good chance I'm going to cut myself today. Maybe you can do stitches or something.
Okay, all right. So you got a degree in what?
Advertising.
Advertising.
Which just makes a lot of sense for a career in real estate, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it does.
it's just simultaneous.
But you had a successful career in advertising.
Yeah. I did a lot of decades in that line of work. I worked at ad agencies for, a handful of years before John and I started having babies. And they're, of course, 19 and 21 now, not so much babies anymore.
Right.
And I took a few years off to raise them. And when I did, I thought, you know what, this is career suicide. There's no way. After being a stay-at-home mom, I was afraid I was going to have the stigma, but fortunately I had some really great clients that believed in me, saw my work before, pulled me off the bench, brought me back in. I started part-time, and that eventually came into, I feel like, triple time. And then all of a sudden I lost the sense of control of my own life. Here I was supposed to be this marketing consultant and flexible and all those things, and I was anything but. I was pulling some major hours from clients and not so much from my family.
You had in mind that you wanted to do a flip
Yes.
of your life.
Yes, I
but
really wanted to.
just could not find the right time, or
honestly, between us, don't tell anyone. I just wasn't that brave. I mean, I watched these shows very lovingly, aspirationally, going, gosh, wouldn't it be great? And it can't be that hard, that kind of thing, right? I mean, it looks so easy in 30 minutes. I mean, shoot, anybody can do one of those things. And so, but I was making some really good money and very comfortable, and, family was doing well, and I sort of fell into that rut.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, it was just hard to get off that
hamster wheel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, hamster wheel.
Yeah. So what did it for you?
Well, what did it for me was I had taken a full-time job and with one of my former clients, and a year later they shut the whole division down. And all of a sudden, all of my excuses of the security were no longer there.
You had no security.
I had no security, so I looked at John and I was like, we've been talking about this for a long, long time. If we're ever going to do it, now's the chance to do it. And so off we went with the first one.
Oh my gosh. And how many years ago was that?
Okay, that was 2016. That was our first flip. We had bought a couple other rentals, and thank goodness that we did. Those came in handy and still come in handy. So we have 3 prongs of our business. We fix and flip for one prong. We are traditional agents and really champion clients. We started to do this just for us.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with advocating for friends and family, and it just sort of grew into other folks. So, that little fight in me comes in handy, for that side of things. and then we have rentals as well. So
yeah.
It's fun.
Oh my gosh. There's a more important sort of moral to your story.
Yeah.
About your transition and how what seemed like the scariest possible thing to do ended up being sort of a gift.
Well, I would love to tell you that I was so brave and that I, totally jumped into this no hold barred and said, okay, this is, what's holding you back? And, I didn't do it that way. I failed forward. Like our first flip, went well by the grace of God. We made money on it, but, I certainly didn't do it the right way, and it's not as easy as it looks on HGTV.
You didn't do it in 30 minutes?
No, I didn't do it in 30 minutes. I didn't do it in the 3 months that I thought I was going to do it. It was like a good solid 9 months, and I'm going, okay, this is not how you scale a business.
Right.
So fast forward, we did start scaling, and then, things were great. Things were really great until all of a sudden, until they weren't. Our youngest, when he was a freshman in high school, it became very evident that something wasn't right. we chased a diagnosis to try to figure out what was wrong for 3 or 4 months, and everything from ear infections to Bell's palsy to you name it. And long story short, it was a rare form of cancer. So
As a freshman in high school.
As a freshman in high school, new high school, he didn't have a big network there, and so ironically, he's great. He's great. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes,
he's great.
Everything's good by the grace of God, and I don't take that lightly. I don't mean to joke about that, because I do know we're very blessed and that he is great. And there are a lot of families that
had the same diagnosis and it didn't go right.
Exactly. So I don't mean to discount what other people are going through by any means. I will say this though, I often think about, had I stayed in the career that I was in and having gone through that journey with Jack, how different that experience would have been. Because in real estate and doing this kind of thing, we have the flexibility to sit outside in the cold if we want to, and hang out on an afternoon. I'm not on a plane. I'm not behind a desk preparing for a presentation. My time is my time, and my time was with my son in his time of need, and that was the most important thing.
Well, see, you never know.
You don't. You don't. And so I'm so grateful for, at the time when the whole division shut down,
you thought it was the end of the world.
I thought it was the end. That was my identity. I was connected to that role, to that leadership position. Who was I going to be without that?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that was stripped away. I learned very quickly who I am.
And it wasn't that.
And it wasn't that. I mean, and this isn't who I am.
No.
Who I am and who you are, we're all children of God.
Right.
And we were all called for different reasons. And I truly don't believe it is a one label job.
Right.
I feel like we all have seasons, and this is my real estate season.
Crazy season.
I love this season. Could warm up a little bit.
It could warm up.
Yeah.
I think so many people have had similar experiences where something terrible happened and they were afraid of the future, and then after the fact could see back and say, wow, what if that hadn't happened? Look how this all worked out.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a little hard-headed, and I think I had other opportunities to jump into this business before, and I didn't jump. I didn't take the leap. I didn't go out of the nest. And I think at a certain point, God's like, fly, little bird. It's time. It's time.
I love it. So you start flipping, and as you said, it's not like it is on TV.
Oh gosh. I feel like there's always the one thing, there's termites, or oh my gosh, the neighbor gets, whatever the case. Oh, there's a foundation thing. And my first one, I mean, you name it, we had it all. We had termites, we had foundation, we had crazy neighbors, we had, the county came in and kind of swooped in and was like, hey, where are the permits? Where's the license? I was like, no, my electrician, he's licensed. No, he told me he's licensed. I'm like, show him your license, And I guess he thought I meant driver's license. So I've learned a lot in the process. We 100%, complete 180 from that, please.
So what were the biggest challenges in starting this new life, this new career?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was very easy to, any woes that I had previously, and working for the man or working in the corporate office, right? That was all on someone else, and suddenly I'm responsible. For every little decision. And so, we joked earlier about how I can come in and say, yeah, we need to take down these walls and add this kind of granite, and this will be the color, and then I'll get caught on the axle on I don't know about the pergola, what about the carpenter beast? You just went, I mean, can't you see it's going to be so pretty with the wisteria, but really, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned that the buck stops with me, and, we've built great resources and team around me, but ultimately,
it's your baby.
It's my baby, and and that design output and that product is on me.
Have you learned anything new about yourself?
I learned,
process?
yeah, you know, like our first flip, I really wanted to be super hands-on. I wanted to learn how to tile. I wanted to learn how to paint and all of those things. And I quickly learned that there are people that are way better at it than me, that can do a better job, and that should use their time and that skill that they have honed. And I have other skills that...
And do it faster.
And do it faster and do it better. And so I've learned to like outsource the
Let
things.
it go.
Let it, yes. As a control freak, that was a really, really hard thing for me to do.
That would be hard for me too.
But, you know, I want to feel really proud about our finished product. And when I do the tile, I'm not proud.
You mean it's not enough to just say, look what I did?
No. I mean, that was really great in like preschool. And I had some fantastic Christmas ornaments. You should see these.
Love it. So what would be your advice for that woman who is sitting there watching HGTV or pondering something else crazy and keeps saying, no, it's not the right time, and coming up with the excuses not to follow her passion?
I would tell her to, you know, to get out of her way. Just get out of your own way. I mean, as an overthinker and a control freak that wants everything to be perfect, and just so in order to take action, it's never going to be perfect. If you wait for perfection, you're going to wait a long time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then that'll be a whole other channel for you. The
third
you
chapter.
are dead yet.
You are dead now.
Yeah.
It's
You
too
blew
late.
it. You blew it. You missed your window. Like, just, I mean, fail forward is ultimately I found the best way to live, because you're gonna make mistakes and it feels good. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not learning something every day, if I'm not surrounding myself with fabulous people that, you know, raise the bar and encourage me in some way, you know, I'm listening to podcasts all the time, I'm watching YouTube all the time, you know, I just want to expand on that. And I feel like when you're kind of listening to who I consider the saboteur, you know, just whispering in your ear going, who do you think you are?
that person.
Yeah, right? I mean, my gosh, they whisper so loud, you know, who do you think you are? This isn't you. You know, that's for somebody else. That's somebody
I know that
else's
person
dream.
you're
It's
talking
horrible,
about.
right? And so, I mean, you know, what I tell my kids is like, when you hear that voice, what I have to do is kind of step back and say, would I talk to my best friend that way?
Oh, good advice.
And then when I hear that, I'm like, okay, that's not from the person that I should be listening to right now.
That's
and
that,
like, totally,
that's that nasty chick I kicked to the curb.
That's right, that middle school girl that you're out of here.
I love that. I need that advice.
Who doesn't? I mean, I really feel like they're, you know, mainly.
Yeah, but you know, we think that nobody else has that issue, right?
Yeah. Well, because that voice sounds a lot like the good one too, right? We all have that same, you know,
the reasonable one.
Yes.
The smart one. Yeah, they do. They sound really similar.
I really want to name mine one of these days.
Ooh, let's do that.
Yeah, I got to be careful because it's going to be like somebody's name that's watching, and then they're going to be really.
We'll go have
offended.
margaritas off camera and we'll name them.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
With salty. We'll call them salty. Nobody's named Salty, right? So sorry for the salties out there. It's not you. It's not you.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with you.
Me too. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank you
for
for
your
braving
time.
this weather out here and the construction
I will
zone.
go where the story
Hey,
is.
I want you to come back though and see it when it's done.
We can
and,
totally do an after little
Those are
thing.
way more fun.
So Amy, a lot of the women that I interview, you know, they've made some significant transformation or reinvention of themselves, but they also have a mentality that they're not done yet.
Not done yet.
Not done yet.
Not at all.
And you were telling me you have an even bigger vision that you feel called to.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so I'm really excited about this next phase because we've we've done these little one-off projects here and there, and it just warms my heart, and I want to warm my heart even more by sharing some great opportunities with other folks. Obviously, based on what we've been through, we are seen first and foremost, even in our own lives, that bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around it. We're blessed in that we've had the opportunity where families that are in a house because of bad things happening to them, no fault of their own, they are now in a situation where they really want to sell, to move on for whatever reason, okay? But financially or otherwise just can't do it. They can't get the house in the right kind of condition. They really need to do some updates, whatever the case may be. And so what we're doing is we're flipping it forward. So we're kind of adopting these families and, you know, in many cases putting them in temporary housing. The good news is they get my design skills. The bad news is they get no input. So they basically move out. We come in, our team comes in and does our thing, and we end up staging the home, listing it for top dollar, selling it, and then at closing table, giving them more money than they ever thought possible. We get reimbursed at closing for all of our expenses, you know, kind of going in, but then they're able to start with this new beginning. You know, we believe in happily ever afters. We're, you know, still romantic like that. We know that that's possible, and it's such an honor to be a part of that. So we're looking for more families to help, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if you guys know of anyone, certainly, you know, reach out through our website. It's purposedrivenrealestategroup.com.
Wow.
Contact us, and, you know, we'll kind of vet them to see if it's a good fit and go from there.
Flip it forward.
Flip it forward.
That's a great concept. Giving back. I love it.
It's a passion. It's a passion. And, you know, I feel like God led us here, and that I would be letting him down if I didn't lean into what he's put on my heart.
Yeah. Using your talent for the glory of God.
Amen, sister.
Awesome.